And the quarterback class that we're going to see next week. Right now, it appears to be Fernando Mendoza, Tai Simpson-ish, and then, right? Like that's basically is that an assessment pre-combine of this quarterback class, and then we'll wait and see who can come to the fore. Tom?
I'd say that's very fair going into the pre-draft process. And listen, we've seen guys jump up the boards in the past. We've seen, players who, whether it's in the meetings, the interviews, their pro days, the combine, really help themselves, which is why everyone will be tuning in live to your coverage on NFL Network from next Thursday through Sunday.
It's our coverage, Tom. It's our coverage. Come on.
It's a lot more you than me. But yes,
no,
it's our coverage
don't
on
say
NFL
that.
Network.
Don't say that. I don't want to go Starbucks on you, Tom.
I don't think we need
it's all peace, love, and understanding. But no, I guess that's the question here is how the quarterback class of last year or the year before affects the way people view the new one. Like that's always in that case where 4 kids in 2024 turn out to be all right quite a bit, right? One made the Super Bowl, another one we need to see. We can't wait to see him come back because his season got washed out due to injury in Jaden Daniels. Caleb Williams, what a phenomenal breakout, right? I think people are going into this combine feeling way differently about him than we did last year, wondering what Ben Johnson was going to do, et cetera. Bo Nix is another one. And then there's JJ McCarthy right there in your town and what the Vikings are going to do here with him. Let's, I guess, land there, if you will.
Well, if we go back to that draft and remembering where we stood going into the process,
yes,
it was pretty clear that you had at least 5 quarterbacks who were probably going to go in the first round between Caleb, Jaden, Drake May, Michael Penix, and JJ McCarthy. Bo Nix was the one that people were talking about.
Right.
Is he a second-round pick? Is he a first? But I have always believed in the idea that, hey, if you think this guy can be your starting quarterback, who cares? Don't get cute. There were rumors the Broncos will trade down and they'll take him in the 20s. They just went, their 5 guys are gone. We're going to take our dude right here. And then Spencer Rattler was the 7th quarterback in that draft. And there were even people who liked him as kind of a developmental guy. And even though he didn't hold the job because Tyler Shuck, the 2nd-round pick last year, takes over with the Saints, you at least saw some skill sets and traits that you understood it with Rattler. Going into this draft, and I haven't done my deep dives like I will do prior to the start of the draft, Rich, after teams get more familiarity and really dig in on these players. But you hear it's 1, maybe 2 going into this that can be legit starter type guys. Obviously, it's Fernando Mendoza, who's already said he's not going to throw at the combine. He will throw at his pro day. He, frankly, doesn't need to do anything. He could sit back and watch Indiana's pro day on TV if he wanted to, but he wants to be there for his guys and throw. He's going to, barring some act of God, he's going to go number 1 to the Raiders. With Tai Simpson, I mentioned this briefly last week, I believe at the end of the day he will go in the first because teams are going to see things on tape that look a lot like what they do in NFL schemes in terms of being under center, the play action game, turning your back to the line of scrimmage, which all those teams that run the quote-unquote Shanahan McVay offense like to do in terms of their action passing game. And in the first half of last season, before Simpson, he got sick. He had some type of like a gastritis issue. He lost a bunch of weight. He was maybe weighing like $190 at the end of the season. He played pretty good football. And then they were just inundated. They didn't run the football well. He got the crap kicked out of him in the bowl game. Everybody saw that. But Tai is going to impress people through the course of this process. He's one of those guys who is going to, at every step of this process, you're going to hear, hey, Tai Simpson is helping himself. I still believe, not just that he goes in the first, I believe Tai Simpson most likely goes in the top half of the first round. And remember, with 4 teams holding multiple first-round picks, there are times that teams look at that and go, we've kind of got an extra one to play with here. We can get an instant impact from one and maybe a developmental starter from another because Simpson probably needs a year like a lot of young quarterbacks do. He'd be best served sitting back and having that time. Does he get that time in L.A. with the Rams, sitting behind Matthew Stafford? Does he get it in New York with the Jets, depending how they ultimately decide to structure that quarterback room? Do the Browns go into that bucket again? That would surprise me because they still want to find out exactly what they have in Shedeur Sanders. There's a lot of different possibilities, but after Tai Simpson, again, this is early, Rich. We all know guys are going to help themselves. You and DJ will be talking about some of those quarterbacks that look really good in the drills, impress people, and maybe they're going to rise up the board. But right now, it's draw a line to that next group, which I would say Carson Beck is in that group. People want to get to know him as a person and kind of peel back some of the layers there. Garrett Nussmeier, he was really impressive at the Senior Bowl, particularly in the game when the lights came on. He stepped up. He won the MVP of that game. I watched him closely on the sideline, not just, the interactions when he was in the game, but when he's out, listening in on every play call, relaying him to teammates, getting guys jacked up in an all-star game. There's plenty of quarterbacks who just kind of, I'm going to go play my 2 series. I'm going to go sit and I'm done. I don't need this. I stayed healthy. He was like engaged. I mean, it was like watching another assistant coach on the sideline. Those types of traits, son of a coach, that's going to help Garrett Nussmeier. Does that get him into the first round? It seems far-fetched going into the process, but again, that's why we go through all these additional steps. And maybe there's a Tyler Shuck type of guy that didn't go in the first, but I don't think anybody, Rich, would have had him prior to draft week last year being QB2 and then coming on and playing so well that we're not even talking about the Saints drafting a quarterback up high.
Even coming out of the combine, so you never know. Hey, you made it all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Check us out every single day streaming live on Disney Plus and the ESPN app 12 to 3 Eastern.